Good morning everyone, my name is Siwan Yi and today I will be presenting my entrepreneur financing and business documentation proposal for Kopi Kaki Cafe. In this presentation, I will explain the cafe's business concept, the amount of startup capital required, the possible funding source, our recommended financing strategy, and how the business will manage its cash flow and financial records. First, let me introduce the business concept of Kopi Kaki Cafe. Kopi Kaki Cafe is designed as a neighborhood cafe that combines specialty coffee with popular Malaysian local snacks such as kuih and roti bakar. Our main target customers are students, young professionals, and remote workers who live, study, or work within a 5-kilometer radius of Petaling Jaya and Kelana Jaya. The cafe will be positioned as a modern kopitiam. It will provide a comfortable environment, good quality drinks and familiar local food at affordable price. Unlike premium cafe chains, Kopi Kaki Cafe will focus on reasonable pricing. This allows customers to visit the cafe regularly instead of treating it as an expensive or occasional experience. Before the cafe can make its first sale, it requires approximately Rm5000 in startup capital. This funding is needed for renovation, equipment, licensing, and working capital. Around 3,000 ringgit Malaysia will be allocated for renovation and fit out. This includes preparing the dining area, service counter, kitchen area, furniture, and basic interior decoration. Another 2,005 ringgit will be used to purchase essential equipment. This includes an espresso machine, coffee grinder, point of sale system, and refrigeration equipment. Approximately 7,000 ringgit will be kept as a working capital buffer to support the first 2 to 3 months of operations. The remaining capital will cover other startup expenses such as deposits, license, interior inventory, utilities, and promotional activities. This financial buffer is important because a new cafe may not generate enough sales immediately after opening. For this business, 3 possible sources of funding were considered. The first source is personal savings. The main advantage of personal savings is that the business owner does not need to repay a loan or pay interest. However, personal savings are usually not enough to cover the full amount needed to start the business. The second option is a commercial bank loan. A bank may be able to provide a larger amount of financing. However, banks often require collateral, a strong credit record, and detailed proof of the business ability to repay the loan. The third option is government financing. Government financing programs are generally more accessible to small entrepreneurs and may offer lower interest rates. However, the application and approval process may take longer, and the funds may not be released immediately. Therefore, each source has its own advantage and disadvantage. The business must select a combination that provides enough capital without creating too much financial pressure. The recommended funding strategy is to combine personal savings with a Tekun national loan. The owner will contribute 2,050 ringgit from personal savings, which represents approximately 13% of the total capital requirement. The remaining 6,000 ringgit will be obtained through Tekun National Microfinancing. Tekun financing is suitable for this business because it is designed to support small and micro entrepreneurs. It may offer lower financing costs and does not normally involve the same heavy collateral requirement as a commercial bank loan. This combination allows the owner to show personal financial commitment while still having enough capital to open the cafe. Another important advantage is that the owner can retain full ownership of the business. There is no need to bring in an outside investor or give away part for the company. Overall, this financing strategy offers a reasonable balance between financial independence and access to sufficient startup capital. After receiving the funding, the next priority is effective cash flow management. Cash flow is not only about whether the business earns a profit, it is also about whether the business has enough money available when bills, salaries, and supplier payments are due. The first strategy is to maintain a cash reserve equal to approximately 1 month of operating expenses. This reserve can help the cafe manage unexpected situations such as low sales, equipment repairs, or sudden increase in ingredient price. The second strategy is demand-based staff scheduling. More employees will be scheduled during busy periods, while fewer employees will be scheduled during quieter periods. This helps control labor costs. The third strategy is weekly stock ordering. Instead of purchasing too much inventory, the cafe will order ingredients according to actual demand. This reduces waste and prevents too much space from being tied up in unused stock. Lastly, daily sales will be reconciled with the point of sale record and cash receipt. This helps the owner identify errors or missing money quickly. Financial performance must be monitored regularly so that problems can be identified early. First, the cafe will raise the cost of goods sold or COGS every month. If the cost of certain menu items becomes too high, the cafe may need to adjust its selling price, portion size, or supplier. Second, the cafe will analyze revenue according to different time slots. For example, the owner can compare morning, afternoon, and evening sales. This information can be used to arrange staff schedules and promotional activities based on actual customer traffic. Third, actual expense and revenue will be compared with the original budget. This comparison helps the owner identify unusual increase in expense before they become serious financial problems. Finally, customer feedback will be collected through a QR code survey. Customer feedback allows the cafe to identify complaints about food, service, of the environment before customers decide not to return. This monitoring method supports continuous improvement and helps the cafe make decisions based on actual information rather than assumptions. Proper business documentation is important for maintaining control, supporting decision making, and preparing accurate financial reports. Kopi Kaki Cafe will maintain three main categories of business records. The first category is financial records. These records include point of sale reports, supplier receipts, and monthly expenses. They help the owner understand how much money enters and leaves the business. The second category is employee records. This record includes staff attendance from a time clock application, employee role description, and quarterly performance reviews. Clear employee records help the business manage salaries, responsibilities, and staff performance. The third category is general business record. This includes supply pricing history, monthly customer feedback report, and inventory records. By giving this document organics and update, the cafe can monitor its operation more effectively and reduce the risk of financial mistakes or disputes. The slide shows an example of the cafe weekly inventory record. In conclusion, Kopi Cafe is require a clear financing and financial management plan to operate successfully. The recommended funding strategy is combine 2,050 ringgit in personal savings with 6,050 ringgit in financing from the good natural. This competition allows the business to absorb enough startup capital without relying on heavy commercial bank corridor or giving up ownership. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I am ready to answer any question.